Namaskar. Good morning, dear students. Today's date is 11th June 2020. As you know, we are learning Unit 4 Travel. In this unit, till today, we have learned Marco Polo's childhood, his journey till China, and some events in China. Right? Today, we are going to see about the unfamiliar things for Marco Polo, what he got to know from the foreign land and how it helped him to write down in his book. Then the thoughts of people about his book and his family. We are going to know these things today. So let's start with last paragraph of page number 58. His book, The Description of the World, makes special mention of his time in China, Mongol Empire, and the visa inventions he saw there. Right, it told Europeans how paper money was used in China while the rest of the world used heavy metal coins. Right, the same paper was used to make kites and were used to measure distances and send signals. Right, means the book which was written by Marco Polo was the source of information for the European citizens. Why? Because Marco Polo had mentioned all of his experiences, new things, inventions of Chinese or the Asian peoples in his book, and these things are quite unfamiliar for his countrymen. Right, then the book also tells how black stones, means koila, were mined from the mountains and used as fuel. Right, in ancient times we were having railway engines which were run by the coal. So now we are using electrical and diesel engines, but ancient times we were also using lot of means quantity of coal as a fuel. Then see what is next. Among the most revolutionary things was the description of gunpowder. The Chinese used it to make firecrackers and weapons. In Diwali and at some special occasions we burn firecrackers. So the powder which is used to make firecrackers or the explorers, right? So these kind of powders were made first in China. So these three are the most important inventions which the European people got to know by the book, The Description of the World of Marco Polo. Then let's see page number 59's content. Finally, after 17 years in Khan's court, the Poles decided it was time to return west. Means they spent 17 years of their life in China and now they were feeling to go back to their motherland. It was not easy for Khan and them also to convince each other. Right, then what happened? See, their decision was not one that pleased Khan. Means Khan was not happy by the idea of departure. Then what happened? Who had grown to depend on the men, though in the end he agreed to their request. On the way back they took a sea route. As we know, first they came China by using the roads, land, and now they decided to go back by using the sea route. And which sea route they have followed? They took them along the coast of Malaysia, Sumatra, Sri Lanka and India. They have taken the spice route, which was very famous route at the ancient times. Sea route. Which route? Spice route. Right. Then what happened? After traveling for 2 years, they reached Venice in 1295. Means this passage indicates the things, the happenings, their traveling, how they convinced Khan to go back to their motherland. These things we got to know from this passage. Now let's see what happened with Polos when they reached their motherland. When the Polos had been away from home for 24 years. How 24 years? 17 years for okay, stay of China. 4 years of traveling and then 2 years of going back to their hometown. So then what happened? See, then they faced so many difficulties. Their natives were not recognizing them. Even their relatives were failed to recognize them as a family member. They were feeling lot of difficulty to speak in their mother tongue because they spent a huge amount of years in China, so they were familiar with the Chinese language, with the Asian language, and when they came back to their place, it is quite difficult for them to speak in their mother tongue. Then what happened? Even it happens with me also. Now since 6 to 7 years I am living here in Gujarat. Whenever I go to my hometown and try to speak in Marathi, I feel little bit difficulty, or I need to think for a word to which word I have to use here, right? So that kind of difficulties happen because we humans are able to divert or to adjust ourselves in situations. Okay, we can be easily familiar with the things. So they were familiar with the Chinese language, their lifestyle, and now they came back to their hometown, and it create lot of disturbance and adjustment for them. Now let's see the next part. The three years after his return, Marco commanded a warship in a battle and was captured. The book written when he was released made Marco a celebrity. After his release from the Persian, Marco became very wealthy and famous for the tales of his travels. He soon married a woman named Donato Bador, okay, and had 3 daughters. This is the information of his family, how did he got married, and his prison, okay, his prison life. We have gotten to know about it in the first paragraph of the chapter. Now let's see the last paragraph. Marco's stories were so unfamiliar and strange for the people of Europe that many did not believe them to be true. The book eventually earned another title, The Millions Lies. Okay, means why it was happened with the people? Because at that time there were less modes of communication. Okay, even people can go to distant places. They were not going far away from their hometowns. So there was lack of communication, lack of connection of the world. So they were not familiar or even known about the other people, their culture, their lifestyle, their inventions. Okay. And due to this, the people of his country were not believing Marco. They were thinking that it was all imagination. But what happened next? See. Okay, the book eventually earned another title, The Million Lies. Marco, however, stood by his book. Centuries later, historians have proved that most of the things written in Marco's book were true. Okay, means when the modes of communication were invented, people started going from one country to another. Then people realized that Marco was telling truth. Okay, then what happened? Marco lived till the age of 70. As he lay dying in his home in Venice on January 8, 1324, friends and family paid him visits, okay, urging him to admit that his book was fiction. Urging means strongly advising someone to do something. Him to admit his book was fiction, right? Then what happened? Marco simply said, I have not told half of what I saw. Means this book, Marco's book, was limitation, right? Means Marco has experienced so many things more than the information of book. He has just given some details of his travel line, right? But if we want to know more about it, we have to approach him as an author. Okay, so So Marco said that I have just explained few things. My journey was contained full of knowledge, experience. Okay, so I have not told half of what I saw is the main statement, which says that Marco was very experienced, curious and well observant person. So this is what we learned from the chapter. In this chapter we have seen Marco Polo as a person, as an observant and as a good human. In his journey, in his lifetime, how he lost his mother, how he spent 17 years of his age as an orphan, right? Because his father was not with him. He was in China while he was small. Okay, means Marco's father was away from him in his childhood. He lost his mother. Then also he turned himself in a good human being. Then he learned so many skills, languages. He improved himself. Okay, and then his goodness or his good experience made him famous by his stories of travel. Now let's see the exercise understanding right, true or false. For this we need a textbook. You can open your textbook, you can point with me and note down also. Right, true or false? A. Marco Polo used the Silk Road to travel back to Venice. False. He used spice route. Okay, means sea route. Okay. B. The name of Marco's book was A Million Lies. False. The name of the Marco's book was The Description of the World. Okay, and then it was changed the Travels of Marco Polo. It was the name given by his people, his countrymen, not by Marco. Okay, see, the spice route took the polos along the coast of Malaysia, Sumatra, Sri Lanka and India. True. D. Marco Polo saw petroleum in Georgia. True. E. The name of Kublai Khan's summer palace was Shangdu. True. Now let's see the question 2. Based on your reading of the chapter, tick the things that Marco saw in China for the first time. Write their names as well. Which things Marco have seen? Firecrackers, coal, kite and paper money. Alright. Now answer the following questions and think and answer. Let's see from my notebook. Answer the following questions. What languages did Marco Polo learn during his journey? What languages did Marco Polo learn during his journey? Marco Polo learned Mongolian, Persian and Turkish during the course of his journey. What was the name of the book that contained the stories about Marco's journey? Who wrote it? The name of the book was The Description of the World. It was written by writer named Russell. Okay. Now see, why was the Gobi Desert one of the greatest challenges faced by polos during their journey to China? Now the Gobi Desert was answer. The Gobi Desert was one of the greatest challenges faced by the polos because it is one of the largest deserts of the world. Marco described it thus: this desert is reported to be so long that it would take a year, means 1 year, to go from end to end, and at the narrowest point it takes a month to cross it. Okay, it consists entirely of mountains, sands and valleys. There is nothing at all to it. Means it was a very dangerous experience to travel in such kind of areas. Now see D. Now question D. What did Marco Polo see in Georgia? Marco Polo saw petroleum in Georgia. He learned that the people of Georgia used it to soothe their skin. Now E. Which route did the polos take to return to Venice? How long did the return journey take? The polos took the sea route known as the spice route. It took them along the coast of Malaysia, Sumatra, Sri Lanka and India. It took them 2 years to reach Venice, right? Now think and answer. Why do you think many people of Venice refused to believe Marco's stories? Why do you think why they were not believing his stories? It's very simple. Many people of Venice did not believe in Marco's stories because they were so unfamiliar and strange for them. These stories were so unfamiliar. They were not familiar with the events which were mentioned in the story, right? The people in Venice did not get a chance to travel and see other places. Hence, it was difficult for them to believe in what Marco saw. Now question B, why do you think people did not know much about other countries in the past? Yes, due to the less communication, okay. People did not know much about other countries in the past because of lack of good transport and communication. It was not as convenient as simple to travel to different places as it now. The journey used to be too long and dangerous. Moreover, there were no phones, no connect with people, okay, from different countries. Now, let's see the vocabulary from textbook. Okay, we need textbook page number 60. Vocabulary: forming new words, borrowed words. The word jungle is used in English as well as in Hindi because jungle is a borrowed word. When people from different cultures mix and interact, they adopt words from other languages, and this is how we get borrowed words. Borrowed words are words that have been taken from other languages. The words saffron, caravan, coffee and algebra have been borrowed from Arabic. The words ketchup, tea, lychee and ginseng have been borrowed from Chinese. Now, blended words. When a word is formed by combining two words, it is called a blended word. We often remove some letters of the original words to form blended words. Breakfast plus lunch, brunch. Spoon plus fork, spork. Emotion plus icon, emoticon, right? Biography plus picture, biopic. Okay. Then cybernetic plus organism, cyborg. Okay. Now see clipped words. Some new words are formed when old words are shortened. Words formed this way are called clipped words. Advertisement, short name, ad. Omnibus, bus. Examination, exam. Influenza, flu. Telephone, phone. Aeroplane, plane. Refrigerator, fridge. Pantaloons, pants. Now let's see question 1. The following words are borrowed words. Work out their meanings and look them in a dictionary to see if you are correct. Century, a period of 100 years. Telescope, a device that makes distant objects appear nearer. Fracture, cracking or breaking of hard object. Micrometer, an instrument that measures small distances. Telescope, an optical object that makes distant objects appear nearer. Microscope, an optical object used for seeing very small objects. Now let's see from question 2. Form new words by blending the pairs of words given below. Night plus landscape, nightscape. Electronic mail, email. Work marathon, workathon. City landscape, cityscape. Walk marathon, walkathon. Europe, Asia, Eurasia. Okay. Now, question 3. Form clipped words from the following. Mathematics, maths. Laboratory, lab. Microphone, mic. Champion, champ. Doctor, doc. Hippopotamus, hippo. Rhinoceros, rhino, necktie, tie. These are some clipped words. Then blending words, and which are they? These words are, we can get the meaning from library. So we have seen borrowed words, blended words and clipped words in vocabulary. Now let's see the grammar part. Prepositions. Through, along, across, towards, into, up and down. Talk about movements. So through, along, across, towards, into, up and down are the words which indicate movements. And at, on, in, since, before and ago talk about time. So which words talk about time? At, on, in, since, before and ago. Now what is our exercise? It's very simple. First, fill in the blanks with the correct preposition, and also write M for preposition of movement, means through, long, across, towards, into, up and down, and T for preposition of time, at, on, in, since, before and ago. Now let's see the exercise. A. Marco travelled dash the Silk Road to China. Here through or along is the correct answer. So along is the preposition of movement. So M should be noted here. B. He sailed dash the Mediterranean Sea. He sailed across. So M is the preposition of movement. Now C. He left for China in the year 1271. Preposition of time. D. Marco went through many small villages. Here through is the preposition of movement. Now E. He slowly made his way towards his destination. M. Towards is the preposition of movement. F. Marco returned home after 24 years. Preposition of time. He died on 8th January 1324 in Venice. Here on is the preposition of time. H. He died in the evening. Here in is the preposition of time. I. It has been more than 700 years since Marco made his journey. Here since is the preposition of time. J. He could speak many languages after he finished his journey. After is the preposition of time. Now here we have one funny activity. A group of travelers is on the expedition. Identify the travelers from the preposition describing their movements. Write their names in the pictures. David is walking through a dense forest. So this boy is David. Okay, now Priya decides to swim across the river. Here Priya, she is deciding. Okay. Prerna is running down the mountain. Who is Prerna? She is Prerna. Okay, the blue t-shirt girl. The girl wearing blue t-shirt. Okay. Ben is making his way towards the mountain. Ben. Ali walks up the mountain to reach its peak. Ali. And Adi is walking along the river. He is Adi. Okay, so this we have to point the children with their names. Now see next writing activity. In writing of this chapter, we are going to know how to write informal letter. Okay, we have one example of Marco's letter which he has written to his friend. Okay, and in this letter Marco has explained his journey and his experience about Israel, his stay, right? And we have to write a letter back to Marco as his friend, asking for his help, the new things about the place and plans of his journey. So for reference you can read this letter of page number 64. If I read now, it will take our too much time. Okay, so at home you can read this letter. Now we are going to see the letter of Marco's friend. Okay, so let's see the letter of Marco's friend. Let's see our question. As Marco's friend Giovanni, okay, write a letter to him. Giovanni, pronunciation Giovanni. Okay, you can begin with a general introduction, asking about his health and informing him about recent events in Venice. Ask him questions about Palestine and the Mediterranean Sea. Inquire about his plans for the rest of the journey. Wish him luck for the rest of his journey. Now let's see the letter. You will get its PDF also. Here, place Venice, 10th April 1272. Okay, here 8 February 1272. As the distance and the lack of communication, we have to take the gap of 2 months. Okay, because at that time the peoples were not having fastest mode of transport to communicate. Okay, so we can keep the gap of 2 months here. Dear Marco, I am so incredibly proud of you and everything you have accomplished so far in your life. I will always be supportive of your life choices as your best friend. I feel very happy for you and enjoyed a lot while reading your letter. As you are traveling through the unknown land and cultures, please take care of your health. I know your curiosity and observant nature will teach you so many new things of foreign. I am waiting to get more interesting information about Palestine and the Mediterranean Sea. I hope you will share your wonderful and amazing plans of your journey. I hope God's grace and luck will help you to become successful in your travel and business. Everyone at your place is missing you so much. Please come back soon. Yours affectionately, Giovanni. Now let's see, I will explain you how I have written the letter. While writing a letter, few things are very important. Address, date, the person who is writing a letter, introduction, body, conclusion, and the person to whom we are writing a letter. Here, place, Venice, we have written, date is clear. We are writing letter to Marco, right? First passage, our first passage is introduction, okay, or the starting, reference. We have reference of Marco's letter. We have written our feeling about him, okay, how his friend is feeling about his journey, how did he enjoy his letter, that kind of things we mentioned. In second passage, we mentioned about how we are worrying for his health as he is traveling in unfamiliar and the different kind of atmosphere. We also wish that the culture, his observant and nature and curiosity. We know more about Marco as a friend, right? So the friend is suggesting that your curiosity will help you to learn new things, new cultural values, right? Then the friend is also eager to know more about the land where he is staying now, the Mediterranean Sea and all these things. And the friend is also wishing to get more information about his next plans, next steps in his journey, right? And at the end, how the family members or the relatives are missing him. Okay, that kind of information we have written in this letter, and at the closing we have written the name of the friend. If you want to write this letter in another way, you can write it, okay, but due to the limitation of words, I have written it in short way. If you want to write more information and in your own words, you are welcome. Now let's see the plugin activity of our textbook, page number 64 and 65. See plugin, easily confused words, it's or it's, okay, it's is a contraction of it is or it has. Okay, so when we write it's not known where Marco Polo was born, we have mean it is not known, right? So the symbol apostrophe usually shows possession, but in some cases it shows a shortened form. Okay, here it is a possessive pronoun. It shows something possesses something else. Okay, it is the possessive pronoun, and here this it means it is or it has. Okay, now so when we write Marco Polo was amazed to see China and its different inventions, it's in this sentence means China's. Okay, whose or whose is the contraction of who is. Okay, now let's see next. So when we write Marco Polo, who's known as a means who is known as a great explorer, lived in Venice. Here we mean Marco Polo who is known as. Okay, so whose refers to something that belongs to someone. So when we write Marco Polo served Kublai Khan, whose permission he needed to leave China, whose means Kublai's permission. Okay, there or there. There is an adverb, it refers to a place. There means adverb of place, and there refers to something that belongs to more than one person or thing. Again, this one is the possessive pronoun. There was a large desert that needed to be crossed by the Polos and their caravan. Here, this there means adverb of place, and this there means the group of person. Okay. Then and then means at the point in time, and then is used to compare two things. Now let's solve the exercise. Read the following sentences and tick the correct option. A. There is not much water in the Gobi desert. So there means the adverb of place we have to use here. This there as a pronoun, there is no need to use it. B. The Polos learned a lot from dash journey. Here there is adverb of place. It's not necessary here. There means what? We have to use there refers to something belongs to more than one person or a group. So there is the correct word here to indicate the Polos. Okay. See, it took longer to travel distances in the past than it does now. Here is comparison between past and present. So than is suitable word to compare between the two conditions. Now D. This is because people did not have aeroplanes then, means at the point of the time in past. Here then is the correct word. E. The Polos made changes in their plans when they reached Palestine. Here there means Polos. Okay. Now F. When the Polos reached back home, their relatives could not recognize them. Their relatives means Polos relatives. Okay. It's possessive pronoun here. Now question 2. Tick the grammatically correct sentences and correct the incorrect ones. Here we have to see it from the notebook also. So let's see from notebook and textbook together. First sentence. It's been more than several hundred years since Marco Polo went on his journey. It's been means it has been. So here, see, here apostrophe is important. So I have written the corrected sentence. You also have to write like me in your notebook. B. Marco Polo relied greatly on Kublai Khan's favor, whose help he needed to live in China. Here let's see the correct answer. Marco Polo relied greatly on Kublai Khan's favor. Here whose means jiske. Okay, jiski help he needed to live in China. So whose is the correct word. this who is not the correct word. Okay, now here its is also not correct. We have written this it has or whose. Now let's see C1. Marco described his journey and its detail in his book. It's correct sentence. Now D. Marco also described the Gobi Desert and its vastness. Here see, Marco also described the Gobi Desert and its vastness. Here apostrophe is not necessary. Okay. Now E. The book was written by a writer from Pisa, whose name we now known as Ruscello. Here E is the correct sentence. Now F. The distance Marco Polo travelled was very long. It's been calculated to be around 24,000 kilometers. Here this it's not correct. Here we need it means it has been. Okay, so see, the distance Marco Polo travelled was very long. It has been, apostrophe is necessary here, calculated to be around 24,000 kilometers. Now G. The place where Kublai Khan lived was in Khanbalik. Its name was Sangdu. Here the correct sentence, G is the correct sentence. Now H. Marco's uncle, whose name was Mafio, also travelled with him. Here whose means W-H-O-S-E. This whose is not the correct word here. So see here, H. Marco's uncle, whose name was Mafio, also travelled with him. Now it's a time of recapitulation. Today we have seen question answers of the chapter The Travels of Marco Polo. Then we have also seen vocabulary and practicing grammar, writing and plug-in activity also. So what is your today's homework? Today you have to solve question answers, letter writing and plug-in activity of your textbook also. So what you have to do is, I will provide you PDF of question answers and writing, and page number 55, 65 question number 2. You have to copy all of this in your notebook literature part. Alright, tomorrow we will see the poem. Thank you.